Hey guys, day 22 of Autism Awareness Month, and today I want to talk about autism parent stress because this has been a particularly stressful week for us here. So studies have shown that autism parents experience more stress and rates of anxiety, depression than neurotypical parents, parents with children with medical issues, and even parents with children with Down syndrome. So why do autism parents experience more stress than most other parents? There's a lot of different factors. Number one is the behaviors of the autistic children. Unfortunately, autism comes with a lot of problem behaviors, and the worse the behaviors, the more aggressive the behaviors, the worse off the parents are in terms of stress. Another factor is lack of support. So outside of the natural supports, the family unit, you don't have a lot of support. And to get extra support, you usually have to pay or have to get waivers like I've talked about before. And so there's all that added stress of trying to get help and trying to get support when you don't have natural supports in place. Another big factor is the stigma of autism. Parents with autistic kids thinking about what other people are going to think if they bring their children out in public, if they have a meltdown, and that then also correlates with the rates of self-isolation that parents have to deal with, and so that's more that's being cut off more, not being able to leave the house like we're experiencing now, which leads to more stress for autism parents. Lack of sleep. I mean, all parents will talk about, that newborn stage where it was so stressful, they're just running on fumes, they get no sleep. For most autism parents, that is their entire life. From the time the baby's born till, maybe if they leave the house, if they're still in the house in their 40s, 50s, it still goes on. So what can parents do to help and cope with the stress that comes with raising autistic children? Number one is find an outlet, find a hobby. Matt's doing his right now. Playing video games and drinking beer. Not all his hobbies. He's gone through multiple hobbies. He did perlers. He tries to go out and do yard work and melt metal in a forge and all kinds of things. Me, I used to have hobbies, but the more children I got, the less hobbies I got. So really I work out every single day though. I make that a priority. Matt knows if I don't work out, I'm not going to have a good day. And I basically haven't missed a day of working out in a couple of decades because I know it's that important for me. But even after children, it was more important. I barely skip a day, especially after having Hiddo. So going on over 9 years now of really not missing a day of exercise. Another thing that experts say is really helpful is mindfulness practices, which that can be relaxation techniques, learning breathing techniques, learning to relax during the day. That's not my cup of tea because me sitting still makes me anxious. But there's other mindfulness techniques that you can learn that during a meltdown, you assess the situation, you realize what you need to do to get through it, what the triggers were, what you could do in the future, and just focus on calming the child and know that you're experiencing anxiety and things like that while the child's having a meltdown, but you address those feelings, but you don't express them and you work through them. So it's basically it's being very practical about the situation rather than just letting your feelings take over. Also, not caring about what other people think about the situation really helps. So find a hobby and find outlets and methods to deal with your stress. Seek help yourself if you're an autism parent and don't know how to deal with the stress that you're dealing with. And also, I think really having a sense of humor helps a lot, and laughing about things that you know, don't really want to laugh about, and finding the positives and like really focusing on those good days instead of thinking, oh, every time we go to the store that, you know, we have a meltdown, instead of the one time you went to the store and you guys had a really good day. Just remember that and focus on that. A big stressor that can come with autism especially is that, like, seeking all the therapies and then expecting results. Every child is different. Every child will improve and change on their own timeline. So just don't expect that you'll see results right away. Expect that there might be setbacks, expect regression, and just accept your child exactly where they are at that moment. And that really helps also with decreasing levels of stress, is accepting your own child. Like we talk about, like I've said before, autism acceptance as a society and spreading that, but studies have shown that parents really need to accept their own children and where they're at and their own situation as a family in order to help decrease stress. Until next time, guys. Bye.